For the first time, we are getting to see so many kinds of comments and play in the polity that most history watchers and scholars would need some time to really study. Going back to the military as an institution which no one has tried to denigrate, we must face the issue, because when we try not to talk about it, it will seem as if, well, all else is well. For the military, Nigerians, till this very moment, respect the military. They say a whole lot of good things about the military. But that doesn't take away the fact that they must discuss some of the issues concerning the military in recent times. A military that people have actually, a purported tape that is out that still, as Nigerians, will need the military to speak up on that and carry out investigations, as you rightly said. Two, we also have a military that, purportedly also came out to say, they were not ready to guarantee the nation, security-wise, for an election. So how best can we bring back all of this respect and adoration for the Nigerian military against the backdrop of all of this I've just said to you?
I think that, first and foremost, Nigerians should take ownership of the military. And then we should also, especially under a democracy, we should also try to change the way we fund the military. By my own personal assessment, I can safely say that equipping the Nigerian military through yearly appropriation, it's not working. It's not working. Therefore, as a nation, we should have a threat perception and threat analysis and say, look, this is the type of military we want. We're in a democracy. So this is the type of military we want. And if this is the type of military we want, this is the type of equipment that we need to give to this military. And therefore, go into maybe short-term, medium-term, and long-term funding of the military to equip them and all that. That is what brings confidence. That is what brings professionalism to the Nigerian military. And therefore, when you have done that, we will not have the excuses of we are not well equipped. You remember that in 1980, when I just passed out of the Nigerian Defense Academy as a second lieutenant, was when the Nigerian military, moved from what we call light infantry or foot infantry to mechanized concept of operation, where we now had APCs for the infantry and then armor tanks and towed artillery weapons and what have you. Since that time till date, there has not been a conscious effort by any government or by even the democratic leadership to be able to say that this is the type of military we want. This is the threat we are perceiving. When 9/11 happened, most opinion leaders, even experts, said it was an American contraption, that it will never bat on the shores of Nigeria. Today, we are dealing with Boko Haram. Tomorrow, we are not even looking at ISIL and ISIS. That will be the next phase of Boko Haram. We're not even thinking of that. So if we do a proper threat perception and threat analysis, we'll be able to equip our military. And the drawbacks and the failures that we had, we will not have them. Because we have well-trained soldiers, motivated soldiers. I tell you, in Liberia, some foreign armies that operated in Liberia, Sierra Leone, will not go on patrol with any other contingent apart from the Nigerian soldier. That is how brave the Nigerian soldier is. And we must be able to equip these soldiers to be able to provide adequate security and protect our territorial integrity.
These are our people. We all have friends, families, and relatives in the Nigerian military, just as, they also have friends and families in the civilian populace. That is why everyone is on the same page. But going forward, how can you best advise those who work with, civilians not to be part of the politics? Because for some who are aide de camp, especially policemen, and even some military officers, we have seen them comment in rallies. They have dropped and tried to, say so many comments for their principles. How can you best advise them not to be part of it, do your job creditably, professionally, and not be part and parcel of, well, the politics in the nation?
Well, it depends on the level. You know, when you attain certain rank in the military, we consider you to be a politician. And that does not mean that you're a partisan politician or you're active politician. We just say that you are within the political class where you interface with politicians and really tell them what is happening in the military. But subordinate officers are not supposed to be in that position at all. Even to talking to press, you know, we see field commanders, you know, granting interviews and all that. The military establishment is a mini Nigeria. You have Ministry of Information in the military. You have Ministry of Health. You have virtually all the ministries represented in the military. Therefore, when it comes to public enlightenment, you get a
All right, General, one more before we wrap up. Would it be out of place, for instance, because in several of the images seen of the insurgents before now, even recently, some of these Hilux jeeps that are being used, and now some of them are into possession of the military. Would it be out of place if they were to take it one step further, trace some of the chassis number or VIN number, whichever the case may be, of those vehicles, and then go to the manufacturing company of those vehicles and find out who did they sell those vehicles to as part of steps towards finding out who funds these terror groups?
I can assure you that defeating terrorism or reducing or degrading terrorism is not just chasing out Boko Haram and their affiliates in Nigeria. I can assure you that efforts are being made in the area of funding, that is trying to trail the money that is used to fund terrorism and insurgency, and that includes the logistics that are being used. We were told, you know, credibly too, that, you know, resupply missions being flown behind enemy lines to supply material to Boko Haram. And with the increased air activity by the Nigerian Air Force, I think those missions have been interdicted. And they will stop at nothing at investigating where these logistics are coming from. I can assure you that every equipment that is captured, up to weapons, up to ammunition, let me call it material, will all be properly investigated, and the appropriate agency will carry out further investigation to sanction, because terrorism has become an international phenomenon. Therefore, it takes, you know, international cooperation also, you know, to fight terrorism.
Well, thank you for your time, retired Brigadier General Williams Obene, for speaking with us today on Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back in just a moment. Join us again.